January 2026, and as you guys may or may not know, this is, the month of New Year's resolutions. The start of a new year. But for football players, this is not the new year, bro. You started your year back in August, and if you're not playing well now, you need to lock in ASAP. And I'm not gonna say any names right now, but there are some players that are playing like it's still pre-season. They're not injured, they're not finding rhythm, they're just doing nothing, existing on a football pitch, not even moving. And right now they are looking to get quick sold, like on FIFA Ultimate Team. Give me the coins. I don't care about this card. So today, in this video, we are going to be talking about footballers that need to lock in this year. Otherwise, I'm just losing all hope. And I don't really make videos that are negative about specific players. This is not, negativity. This is me giving you a wake-up call. Lock in ASAP. Let's start putting some goals. Let's start putting some assists on the table so we can start comparing you with some of the best players in your position. And first off, we just have to address Victor Gyökeres. Now, Gyökeres, I have a lot to say about you, mainly because I am a lover of strikers. You are a striker, and I'm not really loving what you've displayed so far this season, and it's a shame. Because going into this season with Arsenal, after making a big money move in the summer, we were all thinking, as football fans, that Arsenal had found their guy. A reliable striker up top that would bag them a consistent 15 plus goals in a season just to edge them towards a Premier League title. And despite them still seeing success this season, it hasn't been at the hands of Victor Gyökeres. I was really thinking that he was going to stroll into Arsenal and start bagging 20 goals per season, but no. Right now his numbers are quiet, but also what's worse is that his performances are even quieter. Gyökeres has 5 goals in 19 Premier League appearances, and it's just not good. It's not especially good by a striker of this standard and at a club that needs so much more. And the bigger pain from that detail is that he hasn't scored a goal in open play since November. Let's just take a, honestly, let's just take a, if I could, I would. And this sort of impact, this low level of impact that Gyökeres has had, especially on the numbers side of things, is essential to a striker's game, because sometimes you aren't really looked at for your overall gameplay. You're just looked at for that stat.
All these GM merchants, bro. Y'all GM
How many goals? How many times can you put the ball in the back of the net? That's why you can be completely overlooked if you're a bad footballer but score goals. There are many examples of this in the history of football, of a striker not really necessarily being a good footballer, yet bagging goals. And I know there's a bunch of other things that are attributed to this form that Gyökeres is displaying. It comes down to what Arsenal demand from a striker, because a striker for Arsenal has to press. They have to connect the play. They have to be able to get the ball down from a goal kick. They have to be able to pin centre backs. They have to be able to do link up play, be able to carry the ball. But these are not just attributes that strikers for Arsenal need. It's what strikers in football need right now. It's just the development and evolution of this position. And right now, Gyökeres is not fulfilling his role as a striker to the bare minimum, which is just score a goal and nobody will care that your touch is sending you to Timbuktu. In 2026, Gyökeres has to lock in and start bagging goals for Arsenal, especially because we know that he can do it. We have seen it. We all believe it. As football fans, you can't be rooting against Gyökeres. You want to see him putting up numbers like he was at Sporting.
But I'm telling you, bro, it doesn't matter, bro. It's a competition, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't be saying that, because look, bro, funny, the quality, bro. The whole Bundesliga talks about, bro. You can't really make an excuse that, oh, like, come on. 0 assists is crazy. Okay.
And even then, in that system, he was scoring goals in the Champions League. Is it a confidence thing? Is it a system thing? He has to figure
Damn. Well, look at the
it out
disparity.
in these next months of the year. And
So that's
another
a good word,
footballer that
bro.
was recently brought in for a big transfer fee and needs to really start showing up for
Like I
games
said,
is Florian Wirtz. And wait. Let's just, I actually just wanted to include Florian Wirtz in this video, mainly to point out that he's been good. He's actually been pretty good. If you
okay,
watch
so
Liverpool games week in and week out, the entire 90 minutes, he hasn't really been bad. He just needs to get a grips of this league and start putting numbers on the board, whether it's a goal or an assist. And I'm saying this because Liverpool are in a time right now where they need a guy to score goals and get assists. Wirtz is playing well, but that is the standards for, £115 million signing. That's what you have to do. You have to play well. But you also have to get goals and assists. And there's been multiple situations this season, several, where if you're just a bit quicker in that situation, you would get a goal. If you're a bit quicker in that situation, you would get an assist. But no, he's not really adapted to the speed of the Premier League, the amount of time that Premier League defenders give him on the ball. So that's why I'm including him on this list of footballers that need to lock in this season, because I know, you know, that he has the potential to play amazingly. And there's been games this season where he has played amazingly.
But what's up with all these young guys having like the weird thing?
Play amazingly. And there's been games
Look at his corners, bro. Why am I actually so scared? Is it my bad? No, it ain't my
this
bad.
season where he has played amazingly. But what we need is something more tangible. I need to see a goal. I need to see an assist. I need to see a move that you've created and also finished. And considering in 20 games he's got 2 goals and 1 assist, this should be the standard. Bare minimum, you need 5 goals and 5 assists in this half of the season. Because if you don't start picking up your feet and start displaying, moments of brilliance again, like you were at Bayer Leverkusen, then not only will you probably be forced out of this side, but you're also preventing other players from getting in this squad and also thriving. Liverpool fans are in a situation right now where they don't know if they should play you in Mo Salah's position or just put all hope on Mo Salah, who is another player that needs to lock in when he returns from AFCON. Because talk is cheap, people have called Mo Salah washed since the start of this season, that he's not at the standards that he could be. But in AFCON, he's scoring. He's contributing for his Egyptian side. And I don't know how far he's going to go in that competition before being reintegrated into this Liverpool side. And that's where he really and truly needs to lock in for Liverpool and make sure they finish in the Champions League spots.
What about that again? What up? I am back for them.
You cannot be a Liverpool legend of this club and come back to the club and not contribute or force your way back in because you are individually brilliant. Salah's a guy that can just create a moment from nothing. If he's playing
Oh, okay. Someone told me this, like, he does like this thing where one season's like good, right? And the next is like, he's, he just stinks, but like, he can't have 2 good back to back seasons, you know what I mean? But that's what
some
someone
game,
told me.
he will just randomly turn up and randomly win a
I
penalty
look it
or
up, you
score
can
in the
see.
last minute. Salah can be that guy and still is that guy. And with Wirtz not locked in, Salah not locked in, who's the hope for Liverpool right now? And I would follow the trend of criticizing Liverpool and talking about the likes of Alexander Isak too, who needed to lock in. But it seems like as soon as he did lock in and score a goal, someone came behind him and broke his leg. So I have nothing bad to say about that guy. I just hope and wish him a speedy recovery. And from Anfield, we have to travel all the way over to Madrid and talk about a player that actually moved from Anfield to Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, I know he's been battling injuries here and there, and being out of the team and in and out and all this sort of stuff. But when I have seen him, when he's been given minutes, I'm not seeing the individual brilliance and ability to control a game. He hasn't displayed that. And you were going into some of your best years as a football player for one of the best teams in Europe. A big side, a side with legacy, a similar side to Liverpool
When is that thing?
years in Europe. A big side, a side with
Bro, it's like you close to me.
legacy,
I
a
think.
similar side to Liverpool in a sense, but with so much more European success. When Trent plays in this next year, I need to see him start dictating a tempo of the game like he would at Liverpool, taking ownership of build-up in certain moments when Real Madrid need him, when all eyes are on the right back to produce something. And I know it's hard because you're drowned out in a sea full of superstars, but you were a superstar at Liverpool, and you need to show that you're still that guy. And alongside him, his teammate, Vinny Jr. Now, with making this video on a day where Barcelona are coming up against Real Madrid in the Super Cup final, this could all change. You know, by the time this video comes out, Vinny Jr. could have gone on a crazy one, scored a hat-trick in the game. But I don't really know. I have so much hope for Vinny Jr. because we've seen glimpses. No, we've seen prolonged spells. An entire Champions League campaign where he completely dominated in the 2023/24 season. A Ballon d'Or run that saw him be stumped to the trophy by Rodri. Vinny
Believe that's what I'm telling you. That happens sometimes.
Jr. at times can turn chaos into a weapon because he is genuinely the type of winger that can make fullbacks just not want to play anymore. You know, time out, pick up the ball, start squeezing it. No, this is not the right one, please. But with just 5 goals since the start of this season, especially after scoring like 22 last year in the league, there's a lot of questions that are being asked of Vinny Jr. Is he still Real Madrid's man? Or has he been forced into a role that he doesn't want to, you know, really be a part of because of the introduction of Kylian Mbappe, who is taking all the limelight, taking all the numbers, and taking all the space away from Vinny Jr. Right now, in January, he's actually been, you know, involved in rumors to a move to Chelsea.
I wish, bro. I wish, bro. Like these owners. Oh, I wish. I mean,
Which
it's
is
all. It's all.
incredible to say the least. He would just finish off his career if he moved to Chelsea, but especially Chelsea
Wait,
of all clubs. Why?
bro. Bro, you better not be like some like Man United Arsenal fan. That's all. You can't.
Would just finish off his career if he moved to Chelsea, but especially Chelsea of all clubs. Why would you do that? If it is the case and he needs to move to a team, who would be his perfect suitor? I don't think he should be moved out of a side that he pretty much owned for 2 to 3 seasons. And I guess my thing is sometimes when a player's form dips, their performances become louder. You know, they're screaming at you now because they're not getting a goal, they're not getting an assist. People are just going to put the blame on Vinny Jr., especially as he was once the talisman of Real Madrid. If Real Madrid were winning, you know, and they were top of the league and they were balling in all competitions, then no one's really going to bat an eye at Vinny Jr. because he's a part of a winning squad. But because they're losing, we're talking about it. And from Real Madrid, we need to talk about another player that played for their rivals, Barcelona, in the academy, Xavi Simons. Now, it seems like Xavi Simons has been around for years because he has. He was talked about as a child prodigy even when he was in the academy because of his ability on the ball. And guess where he plays now in the big 2026? Tottenham Hotspur. But that's not my issue. My issue is he's gone to a team in Spurs that aren't, you know, known to be playing really good this season, and he's still not been an outlier in their squad. He hasn't been the reason for a bounce back. He's just been a part of them and their downfall. Because when I'm telling you, this guy, Xavi Simons, when he was, you know, growing up, he looked like he was made in a lab, engineered to be this modern new midfielder that could just
Bro,
hold it up in tight space.
I almost saw that like
And
those
also glide past opponents. He had the shooting, the flair, and also the creative ability. And
the
with
hair,
Spurs bringing him to North
the hair.
London for a fee of £51 million, you would think that this hype would follow.
It was
Tottenham would actually get a
51.
player that is decent. But in 15 appearances this season, he's got 1 goal and 3 assists. But it's not these numbers that are even worse. It's just his in-game ability. You're seeing little bits and bobs, but his discipline. I've seen red cards this season. I've seen him putting rash tackles and getting annoyed that he's playing on a side that doesn't dominate possession. And at this point, he's forcing it forward rather than taking a calculated risk in game to play a ball through the lines or to take on a man. He's not displaying his full capabilities. It looks like he's actually being held back. But these shackles that are on his legs need to be unlocked and he needs to be let go. Playing that free roam role and, you know, bide your way into this Tottenham side. And I don't know if he's waiting for a managerial change at Tottenham because Thomas Frank is the current coach and he's not really doing
Bro, that's
well.
what I'm saying. How
You know,
does bro
he's
not been
been
back?
involved in a downfall of Spurs that is even one-upping last season, where they were even, they were terrible. They've been terrible for ages. But it's not like every player in this squad is bad. They've got like
I like it doesn't make sense. 'Cause, like,
of Xavi Simons, the Paulinhos. They got Van der Ven at the back. They got a Romero. These players need to just be managed by a coach that can handle them and also plays the right football to suit the players at his disposal. Another player that needs to lock in this season is Rafael Leao. And I say this just as a little warning because he's got like 7 goals and an assist this season, but he seems to always not be the guy for Milan despite being branded as the guy. Right now it's like Christian Pulisic is always better than you whenever I watch an AC Milan game, because you are too gifted to be the second guy in this Milan side. They're not that good, so you should be the best player by a margin. But right now it seems like Rafael Leao is, too focused on his brand. He's too focused on social media, creating stuff. Bro, if you don't want to be a footballer, just hang it up now, because you are getting taxed for consistency. If I don't see 3 good games in a row, you're finished, man. Because I see 1 game that's good in a month from Leao. 1 game. Then he's just doing his own thing. Then he has 1 game. He's just doing his own thing. And then it's 1 game. And the cycle just continues. He doesn't seem hungry enough on the pitch when I watch him. He doesn't really want it. Especially in contrast to other players in the AC
well,
Milan
these guys
side.
are like all of them in that place are like what for like retirement home. I don't know. But if I was him, I
And in the Serie A right now, there's a bunch of sides that are all biting for the top 4 places in the league. AC Milan need to put their hat in there. They need players to start stepping up. And a similar player that needs to lock in this season that is too distracted by social media, bro, Lamine Yamal. If you do
well, I think this is like really like a while ago because he like
not delete Instagram or delete Twitter, you are not going to be up there with Messi and Ronaldo. You're going to be up there with Adam Johnson, down there in the prison cells. And in reality,
what do you bro do?
he is producing. He's one of them players that, even if he is distracted or not locked in, he can still ball out, get you the best assists, get you the best goals, and do his thing. With 7 goals and 7 assists in 15 league games, you would think I'm talking rubbish. And I am. I just care about this guy because you are too young to be throwing away the career just like that. The issue is that he's falling into this modern trap of just being a marketing tool. You're a marketing guy. You're like 18 years old and you're focused on marketing. We saw this before with the likes of Jude Bellingham. After his breakout season with Real Madrid, put up like 20 goals, 20 assists. Well, maybe not that much, but
I was literally just about to say that he did not do that. He did not do that.
Madrid
He
put
did
up
not
like
do
20 goals, 20 assists. Well, maybe not that much, but balled out, broke everything with Real Madrid. And then you just see him do PR. And then coming into the next season, everyone's saying, where's Jude Bellingham? Where is he? He was gone. I don't want this same pattern to happen to Lamine Yamal, especially because he's got potential that is through the roof. He's out here taking my job, YouTuber, vlogging. Bro, should I just start speaking Spanish? Because how's this guy getting 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers in 1 day? Should I just convert everything to Spanish? I need to appeal to the Spanish audience. What is going on? Maybe me putting him in this video is because he overtook me in subscribers in 5 minutes. This is not fair. But Lamine Yamal, delete social media. Shave your head as well. And just lock into being a good footballer. And you will be
Ramadan.
the best. And also PSG. If you don't lock in right now, I swear, you are gonna... What's going on? Because this side is the same side that won everything last season. Everything. Champions League. Market Road 7-a-side competition. They won everything. But this season it's like all of their players are just in snooze mode because they are currently in a title race with Lens and Marseille. And we all know that they have the ability to just, switch it on and win 15 games in a row in 2026. But they're not doing that. They're making it seem like it's an exciting battle. And
But
Lens
that's what they want, bro. I'm telling you, that's how you avoid burden. Rather like get appeal to the audience.
are exciting. Marseille are exciting. But PSG, you should renownedly be the best team in France. So please act like it. Dembele, please act like you are the Ballon d'Or winner just in September. Please act
But low key, we got the same.
your potential. Now there's a bunch of other players and teams that need to lock in this season, but I need your help. Tell me, who are the names that we need to talk about? Because I'm trying to get everyone sorted for 2026. We don't make lock-in videos in February. It's just January. We need to lock in this month, so you have the rest of the year to focus on. Like, let me pull out some random names that need to lock in, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or not. Yohan Wissa, Jamie Bino Gittens. Come on, the whole of the Manchester City squad. What's going on? 3 back-to-back draws. You're giving the league to Arsenal at this point. You're handing them the league. Do you want them to have a free run at the league, or do you want to make it competitive? Because sometimes in the life. So yeah, guys, let me know who needs to lock in this season in the comments below, and maybe we'll make a follow-up, because you guys, I don't even know. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment,